Welcome to the first Packer Sports Network podcast. I'm here with Brad, the soccer coach, and two soccer stars, Diego and Corbett. How's the season going so far? Tell us about it.
I think so far so good. We started off pretty solid with the win against Columbia outside of the league. A little rough patch, but I think we turned things around. And after yesterday, we've officially clinched the playoffs.
Congratulations.
Which is super exciting.
What's been the toughest game?
What do you think, Corbett?
In my opinion, the toughest game.
Every game's been the toughest game for you.
Yeah, the game has been pretty tough for me overall. But I think the toughest game for us as a team was probably against Avenues. We were under the impression that if we didn't win, we weren't going to make the playoffs. So when we ended with a draw, it was pretty devastating to the team.
Yeah.
What are you guys hopes for playoffs? Think you can make a run? Or
I think we make a run. I think that we're going to come in as a fourth seed. Ideally, we play Friends Seminary. Hopefully, Dwight will beat Avenues, then I'll work things out for us. And then Grace looks like the best team in the league, but there's nothing to be scared of. I think we can take them.
Yeah. Brad, what advice are you giving your players coming into the playoffs?
Enjoy the moment. This is a really young team, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Usually with good teams, they play a little more reserved because they haven't been in moments like this before. But I think that the inexperience can also be an asset. This is a group that is very talented and is now starting to hit their stride. The only thing that I don't want to see from them is that they retreat back into their shell. When they play fearless and like they've had nothing to lose, like they did yesterday and like they did last week against Avenues, they played some of the best soccer, not just as a team this year, but in the league. Like Diego said, there's really no team that should look at us and be like, that's a walkover. And there's two teams that are probably going to look at us in that way. So if we play up to the level that we're capable of, we're going to turn some heads, not only in the league tournament, but coming up into states, which I know everybody is also hoping that will happen for us.
Yeah. And have you been here before, or has the team historically been good in the playoffs?
Team has historically been very good. Packer boys soccer and girls soccer has been good for a long time, many years in a row. For the boys this year, it's a bit of a transition with how young the team is and how inexperienced it is. And I think it showed in some of those moments where we've gone down in matches this year. But again, the one thing that this team has is talent. The one thing it doesn't is experience. So each match that they've gone down, it's been a good experience for them to start to build some character and learn how you respond in the face of adversity. And it shows in the last two games where they've gone down 1-0, both in those games, and have either found the equalizer like they did on last Friday against Avenues, or even in the match yesterday where they then respond with 2 goals and take the lead 2-1 against a team in Riverdale, which always qualifies for the state tournament. So my hope for them is that they take that experience and that confidence into the playoffs and understand that even though they are maybe one of the more inexperienced teams that Packers had in recent memory, that they could still outperform everybody's expectations.
Great. You mentioned the team's pretty young. I noticed that a few freshmen got pulled up because of injured players. How have they been fitting into the team and the rotation?
What do you guys think?
I think it was definitely a surprise because, Max and Jackson both came up. I think so far they've both played pretty critical roles. Obviously nothing crazy. The young guys are still learning how to play with us, but they've definitely made a difference. Jackson is actually the one that scored the equalizer against Avenues. It's a great finish with a perfect ball from Ryan. Max has accepted a role that isn't normally where he plays, but I think he's done a good job. And I think we have a bright future with these young guys.
I think it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. It just gave us a little bit of a jump start to realize, even if we thought that we had for example, I thought I had a guaranteed starting spot, and then once they pulled out the freshmen, I had to pick up my game and actually play to my fullest potential and work hard. So I think that has probably gone around to the rest of the team as well. And I think that's been really helpful to help us win.
And the biggest thing I think this year for us is pulling up these younger guys. I feel like next year we're going to start the season on such started so much stronger than we did this year because we're already a team. This year we came into it very segregated, and to already be playing with these young guys, even if they're like not playing that many minutes or whatever, to already have them like in the environment, next year we're gonna start off so much stronger.
Yeah. And this is both of your guys' first year on varsity, so how's the fit been coming up from JV this year?
I mean, well, we were on JV last year with Brad, and we made it to the finals of ACES, and we lost. And I think that was a big learning moment for both of us, and I think for all of the guys who are on JV or now on varsity. We know that it was tough to lose in the playoffs and lose in the finals, so we really don't want to make that happen again. So it's a jump start that we need.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me was like coming up from JV. These guys are obviously they're bigger, they're stronger, they're better, but it's like the biggest thing is a confidence level and knowing that you belong on that field and that you can like. And then when you play your game and you play like yourself, it's like it's completely fine. But it's hard to walk into it as like one of the youngest guys, one of the most inexperienced guys, and still be able to play at that level of intensity like you belong, because you really don't know in the first couple of games. So.
Yeah. Brad, are there any future stars on the JV team this year? Anyone to look out for next year?
I mean, I like as people. As a coach, what I'm looking for first is just a quality person and somebody who wants to not only play the game but learn the game. I mean, Corbett doesn't play soccer at all, and at the beginning of the year that showed. And but what I like about a player like Corbett is that he's willing to learn and grow and adjust. And so there's a group of players that on JV that I'm excited about to see what they could do maybe next year. Raphael is a good freshman who I'm excited about seeing. Micah is a big, huge athletic force similar to our senior Julian this year that I'm really excited about seeing if he can make the jump. But I think what Corbin and Diego were talking about with your last question is it's a huge jump from JV to varsity. It's not exactly a natural, gradual step, especially if you're not playing soccer all year round. And then the learning curve is huge, but also quick because of how quick high school season is, not just in soccer, but in any sport that you have. I mean, I'm sure you see it as a fellow Packer athlete. It's a big jump, and most players aren't ready for it right off the get-go. So what I most want to see thinking about some of these guys next year is if they have the emotional intelligence ready to make the jump from playing against kids who don't play soccer to playing against kids who play soccer all year round.
Yeah, nice. Corbett and Diego, what are your guys' like favorite parts of being on the team off the field? Are there any fun things the team does together?
I mean, like we have a group chat. It's like even nothing serious, but it's so fun to just like go down and kick around with the guys on the weekends and on off days just to play some pickup or shoot around. You know, I mean, it's really fun just being a part of the environment because you get to know so many of the older guys and like, especially when you're underclassmen, it's cool to be able to like be so close to them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good experience and a good team bond that we have. I get to, approach some of the seniors, some of the captains, just say hi in the hall, and I don't know, that just makes such a big difference in how connected we are on the field and off the field.
Speaking of seniors, are there any big losses that we're gonna lose next year?
I mean,
all of them.
All of them.
They're all.
Yeah.
Every year, whether a senior has played a lot or not, it's a huge loss.
Right.
I mean, not every senior is playing. The ones who are, Charlie's going to be a huge loss in the middle. Julian's going to be a huge loss from the athletic force that he is. Lucas is one of the most brilliant playmakers that maybe has come through Packer ever.
Yeah.
Those are three guys who make a huge impact on the field, but I want to stress the importance of the impact off the field that even some of the players who don't play have. Enzo is quite possibly the funniest human that I've ever met in my life, and in any team, I want a player like Enzo on it.
Right.
Ian is quite possibly the smartest person I've ever met, and you always want somebody with that IQ. And Michael Feeney is our team manager, and even I look at somebody like him, that's going to be a huge loss graduating him, because even though he doesn't have an athletic role on the team, the work that he does off of it, the work that he does helping the coaches, and his desire to just be a part of the program is something that you always want. So I look at the whole core of them, and they're going to be missed. With that said, with every graduating class, that means that there are holes to fill and opportunities for guys to step up into in the coming years. And I'm always really impressed when I look at high school programs, college programs, at how much players quickly and easily step into those roles when given the opportunities.
Nice. How long have you been a Packer coaching?
This is year 2, the start of year 2.
How'd you get into coaching, and how'd you find your way here?
I played soccer through the end of my college days. As Corbett and Diego know, my one claim to fame is I played on the Portland Timbers under-23s in 2010 when we went 23-0 and played with a bunch of really talented guys. Did not step onto the field, as they know, but that's my one claim to fame, is kind of training with guys who were in the national team picture and who played Division I. And I found my way to Packer last year because a guy who I played men's league with, Coach Jeff Alexander, was hired at Packer, and he said, "Hey, they're looking for coaches. You'd be a great fit." And so I interviewed and got in, and I've enjoyed being not only a part of the soccer program, but a part of the larger athletics program. As Corbett and Diego know, I don't know anything about basketball, but coached middle school basketball and enjoyed that, and was really lucky to be able to coach the upper school tennis team last spring as well, which is a sport that I have a little more knowledge about. But I've enjoyed the Packer culture. I think there's all the students are really great. I think all the faculty and staff are really, really phenomenal people. And I'm always super impressed with how much not only the students but the faculty and staff work to create what they deem as a very successful, both in the classroom and in the athletics field, whether it's baseball field, tennis court, soccer field, successful culture.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Brad. It's been great. Wish you the best of luck in the playoffs. And
hopefully you guys can come down to Staten Island next week. What's it called? Owl Fields or something? Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. It's on Staten Island, but I think we're gonna get in there at either the 3rd or 4th seed, which means that in order to win, we're gonna have 2 upsets. And I promise you that we are gonna turn some heads, and nobody's gonna be surprised when we raise the trophy at the end of the tournament.
That's great. Thank you.